Have you ever felt like something is subtly changing as you age, but you can't quite put your finger on it? Maybe you've noticed the smallest shifts in how you engage with others, or how others respond to you differently. As we get older, it's natural for us to adopt new habits, often without realizing it. These habits, while seemingly harmless, can have a profound impact not only on our relationships but also on how we see ourselves. You might not even notice it, but these small behaviors can start to create distance between you and the people who matter most in your life. In this video, we're going to dive deep into 5 common behaviors that many older adults, just like you, unintentionally develop. I'll walk you through how these behaviors might be slowly pulling you away from your loved ones, and perhaps even hindering you from living the healthiest, happiest life you deserve in your later years. By the time you finish watching, you'll realize that these aren't just harmless quirks. They're behaviors that can take a toll on your emotional health, your relationships, and even your overall sense of well-being. I want you to understand that these are real issues that could be holding you back from living your golden years to the fullest. But don't worry, I'm not just going to point them out. I'll show you how even the smallest shifts in your attitude and actions can dramatically transform your life. You'll see how adjusting these habits can change how others perceive you, improve your connections, and help you embrace your later years with confidence, vitality, and true, meaningful relationships. So, stick with me throughout this video because I'm about to share with you some essential truths about aging that could make a difference in how you live your life moving forward. Whether you're hoping to strengthen your relationships, maintain your independence, or simply find more peace with where you are in life, this video is exactly what you need to hear today. We're going to explore these key areas together and help you become the best version of yourself in your golden years. And hey, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support truly means the world to me. If you found any value in this video, please give it a like and share it with anyone who might benefit from it too. The more people we can reach, the better. Also, I'd love to hear from you. If you resonate with the topic of this video, leave a comment saying 1. If not, let me know with a 0, and share your thoughts on how I can continue to improve and provide content that truly serves you. Your feedback is invaluable, and I always strive to create the best content for you. Now, let's dive into the heart of today's discussion. We've got a lot to uncover. 1. Lack of personal hygiene. As we grow older, personal hygiene, something we often take for granted, becomes an increasingly important but sometimes neglected aspect of our well-being. For many older adults, this struggle is not intentional, but rather a result of a variety of physical, emotional, and psychological challenges. It's heartbreaking to think about, but for some, tasks as basic as showering, brushing their teeth, or even changing clothes can become insurmountable hurdles. Chronic pain, fatigue, or limited mobility can make these simple acts feel like an exhausting ordeal. Every movement becomes a reminder that what once was easy, now turned into a monumental task. For others, there are deeper emotional issues at play. Loneliness, depression, or the overwhelming feeling of having lost connection to the world can sap the motivation to care for oneself. The belief that who will notice, or does it even matter anymore, can erode the desire to keep up daily hygiene routines, and that thought can be incredibly isolating. When personal hygiene slips away, the changes aren't always immediately obvious, but they certainly accumulate. Perhaps showering becomes an occasional luxury, or changing clothes becomes a task that can be postponed indefinitely. The sense of comfort or pride that comes from feeling fresh, from having clean clothes, starts to fade. These are subtle signs, but they have a profound impact on our health and emotional well-being. It's not just about appearance, it's about how we feel in our skin. Body odor becomes an invisible barrier between us and others, robbing us of the confidence to interact socially. And even though it's not always outwardly acknowledged, wearing clothes that are less than freshly changed can inadvertently make others uncomfortable, too. The absence of attention to our outward self-care can leave us feeling like we've lost a part of ourselves, disconnected from the dignity we deserve to retain. But, more importantly, the consequences of neglecting hygiene are not just skin deep, they affect our health in more serious ways. For seniors, particularly those with chronic conditions or limited mobility, the risk of infection skyrockets. A small cut or a bit of moisture that's trapped in the skin can become a breeding ground for bacteria, leading to infections that could spiral into something much more serious. It's easy to overlook, but neglecting hygiene can impact circulation, increase susceptibility to illness, and even hinder recovery from other health problems. The reality is that personal hygiene is not just about looking good, it's about survival, about maintaining a quality of life, and about protecting our bodies from harm. For those in caregiving roles, this reality can feel even more heart-wrenching. It's painful to watch a loved one struggle with the very tasks that once seemed so easy, and it can be frustrating when they resist help. But the truth is, helping our elders with their hygiene isn't just an act of assistance, it's a powerful act of love. Encouraging them to maintain their hygiene, whether through gentle reminders, helping with physical tasks, or even providing the support they need to keep up with their grooming, is essential to their well-being. It's about respecting their dignity, about letting them know they are still worthy of care and attention, no matter their age. As we face the inevitability of aging, we must remember that personal hygiene is so much more than a superficial matter. It's about preserving health, fostering independence, and safeguarding self-esteem. We must make it a priority, because everyone, regardless of age, deserves to feel good in their body. Everyone deserves the confidence that comes from being clean, from looking in the mirror and seeing someone who is cared for and valued. Hygiene is not just a routine, it's an act of self-love, an expression of respect for ourselves and those around us. Let us never forget the power of a fresh start, the importance of self-care, and the quiet dignity that comes with it. After all, as long as we are alive, we should strive to live with grace, with self-respect, and with the confidence that we matter. 2. Complaining about everything. As we grow older, it becomes almost too easy to fall into the trap of constant complaining. What starts as a simple, perhaps harmless observation, like being dissatisfied with the weather or feeling overwhelmed by the latest piece of technology, can gradually spiral into a more pervasive feeling of discontent. Slowly, over time, this negative mindset builds up, until one day we realize that we've begun criticizing everything in sight. The state of the government, the behavior of younger generations, and the pace of change in the world. It's as if we're walking through life with a magnifying glass, constantly searching for flaws, and in doing so, we overlook all the beautiful things that are right in front of us. I know this all too well. There have been moments in my life when I found myself grumbling about trivial matters, only to realize that I had allowed that small annoyance to cloud my perception of everything else around me. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But here's the hard truth. This kind of constant complaining doesn't just affect us, it affects everyone around us. At first, we might think we're just venting our frustrations, letting off steam, but if we're not careful, it can seep into every conversation and every interaction. The negative energy we project, if left unchecked, can become toxic. It doesn't take long before those closest to us, our children, grandchildren, or even younger friends, start to feel weighed down by our pessimism. They might even start to avoid us, not because they don't love us, but because they don't want to be consumed by the constant barrage of complaints. They might feel as if they're walking on eggshells, afraid to say anything positive because it might be shot down or criticized. It can become emotionally draining for them, and the last thing we want is to push away the people we care about most, especially when we're looking for love and connection. It's easy to understand why we sometimes become critical as we get older. Our experiences accumulate, and over the years, we witness so many changes in the world. Changes that we may not always understand or agree with. It can be hard to watch the world evolve in ways that feel unfamiliar or unsettling. The changes in technology, the way people interact, or the shifting cultural norms, it all feels like so much has been taken from us, and in our frustration, we criticize what we can't control. But here's the thing. Not everything in life deserves our criticism. There are some things, many things, that are simply beyond our control, and by focusing on them, we only add to our inner turmoil. It's easy to feel powerless in the face of these vast, uncontrollable forces, but clinging to that frustration is like holding onto a heavy weight that drags us down. Instead of pouring our energy into things that only leave us feeling more agitated, why not shift our focus to what we can control? Why not focus on the blessings we do have, the small joys that bring us peace? I know that when I start to feel overwhelmed by the world around me, I try to remind myself to look inward and find gratitude for the simple things. The love of my family, the warmth of a good cup of coffee, the peace that comes with slowing down and enjoying the quiet moments. By choosing gratitude over criticism, we can shift our entire perspective. It's not about ignoring the real problems we face, but about addressing them with a mindset that nurtures our well-being and strengthens our relationships. When we embrace a more positive outlook, it doesn't just help us feel better. It brings light into our interactions, making others feel supported and cared for, instead of alienated. The shift toward gratitude and acceptance is not always easy. It takes practice, patience, and self-awareness. But when we make the conscious choice to let go of unnecessary criticism, we open ourselves to a life filled with more peace, connection, and understanding. And I truly believe that this shift can transform our relationships, bringing us closer to those we love, and ultimately making the journey through our later years not just bearable, but fulfilling. It's time to focus on what's good, what's working, and what we can still enjoy, because the more we focus on those things, the brighter our world becomes. 3. Dominating conversations. As we grow older, it's completely natural to feel an overwhelming urge to share the wisdom we've acquired over the years. We've lived through so much, gained insights, weathered challenges, and collected stories that hold deep meaning for us. There's a certain comfort in wanting to pass along what we've learned, whether it's sharing life lessons, offering advice, or even recounting those humorous anecdotes from the past that never seem to get old. After all, we've seen so much, and that can feel valuable to pass on. However, as much as we want to share, there's a delicate balance between contributing to a conversation and taking over completely, between offering insights and dominating the dialogue. It's so easy, sometimes without even realizing it, to slip into the habit of dominating conversations, especially when there's so much we wish to express. But here's where it becomes tricky. Dominating a conversation can have profound, unintended consequences on our relationships, particularly with younger people in our lives. I've noticed that when we become the sole voice in the conversation, it often leaves little room for others to speak. We interrupt too quickly, interject our thoughts without fully listening, or turn the conversation into a one-way street where only our opinions matter. Though we may not intend to, this behavior can send a loud and clear message to the people we care about most, that we are less interested in hearing their thoughts and more focused on sharing our own. Over time, this can create a sense of frustration and, even worse, emotional withdrawal from those we love. It might lead to feelings of being unheard or dismissed, and that can be painful. Children, grandchildren, or friends may feel like their voices don't matter, and that their experiences or perspectives aren't valued. This kind of emotional disconnect can result in them becoming discouraged, retreating from conversations, or even avoiding them altogether. As much as we love those around us, we have to acknowledge that relationships require balance, and listening is as important as speaking. In my own life, I've come to realize that communication, at its core, is not about one person holding the floor while everyone else listens. True communication is about the beautiful exchange of thoughts and feelings, a harmonious dialogue where both parties feel heard, seen, and valued. When we ask questions, show genuine curiosity, and take the time to truly listen, we create an environment where respect flows naturally. It's through this mutual exchange that we grow, not just as individuals, but as part of our shared connections. When we step back and give others the space to express themselves, we are not only strengthening relationships but also opening ourselves up to new perspectives. I've learned so much from the younger generations in my life simply by stepping aside and allowing them to speak. They bring fresh ideas, new insights, and challenges to the way I think, and that, I believe, keeps us all young at heart. So, the next time you find yourself itching to share a story, to offer your wisdom, or to offer your opinion, pause for a moment. Take a breath. Consider how you can make space for others, too. Ask questions, truly listen, and embrace the exchange that comes from a conversation where everyone has room to speak. In doing so, we not only keep our relationship strong and healthy, but also nurture the kind of connections that allow us to continue learning, growing, and evolving with every conversation, no matter how old we are. 4. Demanding respect based on age. As we get older, it's natural to feel like we've earned a certain level of respect due to the years we've lived and the experiences we've had. After all, in many cultures, aging is often associated with wisdom, authority, and a wealth of knowledge. However, while age can bring valuable insights, it's important to recognize that respect is not something automatically owed to us just because we've reached a certain age. Instead, respect is earned through the way we treat others and the way we conduct ourselves. Sometimes, we may unintentionally fall into the trap of demanding respect based solely on our age. We might expect others, especially younger people, to give us deference without considering whether we are showing them the same courtesy in return. This can create tension and even resentment, as younger generations may feel pressured or misunderstood. They might perceive our demands for respect as an imposition, rather than an acknowledgement of mutual understanding. Respect isn't something that comes automatically. It's a two-way street. To earn the respect of others, we must be willing to listen to their opinions, acknowledge their experiences, and treat them with dignity. We need to show our children, grandchildren, and even our friends that we value their thoughts and decisions. It's about fostering an environment of mutual respect, where everyone, regardless of age, feels heard and appreciated. While our life experience can be a valuable tool for providing guidance, it's important to avoid using it as a way to impose our views or expect special treatment. Instead of focusing on what we think others should give us because of our age, we should focus on how we can contribute to their lives with kindness, understanding, and a genuine willingness to learn from them as well. It's this mutual exchange of respect that builds stronger, more meaningful relationships. Relationships that are not bound by age, but by genuine connection and empathy. 5. Minimizing others' experiences. As we age and accumulate decades of life experience, it can sometimes be easy to unintentionally minimize the struggles and challenges of others, especially the younger generations. After all, we've lived through a lot, faced many challenges, and gained a wealth of knowledge along the way. It's natural to feel that our experiences have given us a broader perspective on life. However, there's a risk that, in doing so, we may unintentionally downplay the importance of what others are going through, particularly when it comes to the issues that younger people face. It's important to recognize that while our life experiences are undoubtedly valuable, each stage of life brings its own set of challenges. What may seem trivial or insignificant to us, because we've already been through it or faced something similar, could feel monumental to someone else. Younger generations, in particular, are navigating the complexities of their own lives and may feel that their concerns are dismissed or trivialized when we minimize their experiences. This can lead to frustration, misunderstandings, and a sense of alienation. Our children, grandchildren, or younger friends may feel unheard or unsupported, which can create emotional distance between us. Instead of downplaying or comparing their challenges to our own, it's much more beneficial to listen attentively and validate their feelings. By doing so, we show respect for their experiences and help create a space where they feel understood. When we listen without judgment and offer support without comparison, we foster a more meaningful, empathetic connection with others. This strengthens our emotional bonds, especially with our family members, and promotes an atmosphere where open, honest communication can thrive. Taking the time to hear others, especially when they are struggling, helps bridge the gap between generations and cultivates relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. In the end, each person's experiences are unique, and validating them creates a sense of belonging and support that can bring people closer together, no matter their age. 6. Criticizing the young too much. It's not unusual for older adults to criticize younger generations for their choices, lifestyles, or values. Often, this criticism comes from a place of concern, wanting to offer guidance based on our own experiences or warning against potential mistakes that we've already made. But while the intention may be to help, too much criticism can unintentionally build a wall between us and the younger generation, creating unnecessary tension and misunderstanding. When we focus too much on pointing out the flaws in how younger people live, it can create a sense of distrust and resentment. Constantly criticizing their choices, whether it's about career paths, relationships, or personal values, can make them feel alienated or judged, rather than supported. Instead of fostering healthy dialogue and mutual understanding, excessive criticism can widen the divide between generations, making it harder to connect and communicate openly. It's easy to judge the younger generation based on our own life experiences. After all, we've seen the world evolve, and we may feel that the choices they're making aren't as wise as the ones we made in our day. However, each generation faces its own set of challenges, influenced by different circumstances, technologies, and cultural shifts. What might seem like a mistake to us could be a necessary step in their personal growth and discovery. While it's important to offer advice when asked and share our wisdom, it's equally important to do so with patience and understanding. Instead of critiquing their choices or condemning their lifestyles, we should take the time to listen and appreciate their perspectives. Just like we were at their age, they are learning, growing, and figuring things out for themselves. The most supportive way we can help them is by showing empathy, offering guidance when they seek it, and being patient with their journey. Relationships between generations thrive when we approach them with respect and an open mind, rather than with judgment and harsh criticism. By cultivating mutual understanding and respect, we create an environment where communication flows freely, and both generations can learn from one another. This attitude not only strengthens our bonds, but also fosters a deeper, more meaningful connection that transcends age. 7. Living in the past. As we grow older, it's easy to unintentionally fall into the trap of living in the past. After all, the past is filled with memories that shaped who we are today, and it's natural to want to relive those times or reminisce about the good old days. However, when we hold too tightly to these memories, we can start to idealize them, making them seem far superior to the present. While it's completely normal to value our past experiences, constantly looking back can prevent us from fully embracing the present and the opportunities it offers. Clinging to the past can make it hard to adapt to the changes around us. The world is constantly evolving, and new ideas, technologies, and lifestyles emerge every day. To thrive, we need to remain flexible and open to these changes. If we resist adapting to the modern world, it can lead to frustration, as we struggle to reconcile our memories with the current reality. What worked in the past may no longer be relevant or effective, and that's okay. It's important to be willing to embrace the present for what it is, without holding on to outdated ways of thinking or living. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Living in the past can also create distance between us and our loved ones, particularly younger generations. They may not understand or relate to the world we grew up in, and when we're constantly reminiscing about how things used to be, it can make them feel disconnected from us. They might not feel valued in their current lives if we constantly compare their experiences to our own. It's crucial to recognize that their journey is different from ours, and just as we once felt the need to forge our path, they are doing the same now. To live fully in our later years, we must find a healthy balance between appreciating our past and remaining open to the present. We should cherish the memories that have shaped us, but not allow them to define our entire existence. By embracing the here and now, whether it's learning something new, trying a new hobby, or spending time with loved ones, we continue to grow and experience life. It's important to stay receptive to the changes around us, finding joy and fulfillment in the present, rather than getting lost in the past. 8. Rejecting help. As we get older, it's not uncommon for us to feel a strong desire to maintain our independence and reject offers of help. However, this attitude can have serious consequences, both emotionally and physically. Aging often comes with challenges such as memory loss, mobility issues, or difficulty performing everyday tasks. For many seniors, the instinct to remain self-sufficient is deeply ingrained, and the thought of asking for help or relying on others can feel like a blow to their sense of autonomy. The refusal to accept help often stems from the fear of losing control over one's life. For many older adults, being able to take care of themselves is a key aspect of maintaining their dignity and self-worth. The idea of needing help can feel like a sign of weakness or dependency, something that can be difficult to accept, especially if you've always been independent. There's also the concern about becoming a burden to family or loved ones, which can lead to feelings of guilt or shame. But here's the reality. Rejecting help when it's needed can jeopardize your health and quality of life. Whether it's assistance with daily activities like cooking, cleaning, or shopping, or medical care that requires monitoring and follow-up, saying no to help can make things worse. Without proper support, seniors can suffer from accidents, like falls or injuries, because they're trying to do more than they're physically capable of. Not following medical advice or neglecting necessary treatments due to fear of relying on others can lead to more severe health issues in the long run. Accepting help doesn't diminish your independence. It enhances your ability to live a healthier, safer life. The key is to recognize that needing assistance is a part of aging, not a reflection of weakness. Accepting help can allow you to maintain the things that matter most: your health, dignity, and well-being. It's important to have open conversations with your family or caregivers about the support you need and to be open to their help when it's offered. This way, you can continue to live independently in the ways that matter, without putting your health or safety at risk. As we wrap up, I hope this video has given you some valuable insights into the importance of meaningful, balanced conversations and the power of listening. We've discussed how dominating a conversation can unintentionally affect our relationships, and how taking the time to truly listen to others can enrich our lives in ways we may not have expected. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? Is there something you've realized that you'll start practicing in your conversations? Please, leave a comment below and share one thing you'll take from this video and bring into your daily life. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. And of course, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. Also, make sure to share it with anyone who might benefit from this message, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our latest videos. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to reading your comments and continuing this journey of growth together.